Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm unboxing this Zook keyboard and mouse combination. That's Zook with 3 O's. I'm not sure if you've heard of the name before, but I have in fact. Zook is not a new company. They are in fact a French brand, which is something I recently found out. And that's of course something that does inspire quite a bit of confidence. So we were looking out for a keyboard and mouse combination because I already used this keyboard that I got from Flipkart, I think in January. So it's lasted us almost 10 months or something, and you can see it's got the keypad here, which is really useful for someone like me. I didn't really want to have to use my laptop's touchpad and then a separate keyboard at the same time. I wanted freedom from my laptop, but now it's kind of outlived its utility. I would really like a mouse because again, nothing really beats that, feel. So we came across this, and this one had a really huge discount, but at the same time, almost like nobody had bought it at the time. This was actually a keyboard and mouse combination. I believe they have come up with this just for that specific sale, that big billion days sale that's still going on under a different name. So we placed the order, I think just a couple days ago, and it was delivered after like 4 days. So yeah, that's just natural during the holiday season. So this one, they had priced it at $7.99. And they had this card offer with, I think, ICICI and a couple other banks. Okay, so the first thing, though, I want to tell you is look at the condition of the box. This is really kind of pathetic. I mean, look at this. Look at these dents. I mean, is this really something that you want to see when you receive electronic equipment? That's not something I want to see. I hope the keyboard and the mouse are fine. I mean, and look at this. This is really bad. It's like almost open. And this one here, look at this. What is this supposed to be? Come on. They should have, I mean, I'm sure when they packed it, it was fine, but you know how things get transported, right? So they probably just threw this in the truck, and yeah, well, that's just the story of delivery. But anyway, let's get to unpacking this as well. Again, that just came off like nothing. So it's not packed very well, kind of disappointing, but okay. So here it is. Okay, let me just pull that out. Ooh, okay, there we go. Is there anything else in there? Let me just see. Okay, nothing in there. So this is the Zook FK QWERTY pad. Interesting name. And you can see there's this logo here, the Big Billion Days Special. You can see this logo here. So this is in fact a unique collaboration between Flipkart and Zook, I believe, because they also have this dedicated Flipkart key, which is really interesting. I mean, yeah, you don't really need a dedicated Flipkart key, but well, anyway, they have it, so that's that. And like I said, this is actually a good brand. I mean, you might think, Zook? Wait a second, I've never heard of this brand. Is this trustworthy? I would say don't worry, because they actually have been creating electronics. They've been making keyboards for quite some time. In fact, when I was searching for a keyboard way back in like December, January, I came across a Zook keyboard, which was just like the one I got from Flipkart, just like this one, but it was a little bit different. And I saw it in a store. So naturally, stores, retail, brick and mortar stores will only keep something that sells well. So I have a lot of trust. I hope they don't disappoint me. And the great thing here is, do you see this thing? Let me open it up. In fact, so that's less talking and more doing. So this one also is kind of upsetting because you can see it's kind of squished. It's not flat like it should be. Do you see this? Do you see this right here? It's squished. That's really disappointing. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, this is a really fragile electronic device. So, but you have the tape here. Let me just show you over here. Got the tape. We'll just cut that. And then you've got these as usual. A Again, it's not really flat like it should be, so it's a bit of a core taking these things. Okay, there we go. Is that tape there? Not sure. So how do I open this? How do I open this? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, this is really strange packaging, but anyway. Okay, the big reveal. Oh, what's this? Okay. And then we've got the user manual. I mean, not so much a manual as, you know, place the battery inside the battery pack and you're good to go. So we have the info there. It's just like one, okay, that's 2 pages. You can use it up to 10 meters apart, so that's good. Let's look at the mouse. It's really cute. I like the blue color. And if you're a Minions fan, you probably will enjoy this. Well, you, or if your kid is a Minions fan. This is in fact a really good mouse because you can change the DPI. If you don't know what that means, essentially it means you can change the speed of your mouse pointer. So instead of having to move the mouse this much just to move it a little bit on the screen, you can move the mouse this much and it moves a lot farther on your screen. So you click this button and you can change the DPI. It's really light, I'll tell you that. Looks good. You can hear that, right? It's not loud, which is great. That's something you definitely want to experience, right? I mean, old school mice, they were always really loud. You could hear every click, which is really annoying, right? But here it's different, so that's nice. Here you've got the logo, you've got the bar. This is where you would insert your battery, I believe. So that's empty right now, but we have the battery somewhere in here most likely. So I'm gonna put that aside. But it looks good, feels good, and again, these are like silent clicks. They did not mention this on the product page, so I don't know why they didn't do that. They should have, because that's a great feature. You definitely want a mouse which is not very noisy. Let's put that aside and let's open up this one. Okay, so this is big. This is definitely, yeah, it's not like, it doesn't feel cheap. That's one thing that I like. Too often keyboards will kind of feel very, you know, like tacky or weird, but this one is well built. I mean, the keys are bright, so you can see, you know, what you're typing. Really good, you know, if you struggle with that kind of thing. The keys are, yeah, let me just show you. Here's the Zook logo. And this is a full one, by the way. So you see this number pad? This number pad right here. If you do a lot of calculations, this is probably perfect for you. The one that I use doesn't have this, the black one that I showed you, because there you have the touchpad. And I didn't need this because I don't do a lot of calculation. But if you're an accountant or if you do a lot of math, use a lot of Excel sheets, then this is going to be great for you. And another great thing is you can see this thing here, right? So when you're typing, you can place your arm here and it's a lot more comfortable that way compared to, you know, something like this where I have to keep my palm here on my lap or somewhere else, right? Because when I type here, my palm is elsewhere. But when I type here, my palm is right here. So that's really good for, you know, the wrist health. And these keys, by the way, these are soft keys. They don't make any sound. These make just a little bit of sound, but that's almost like imperceptible. Compare that with these. Can you hear that? Compare that with this. It's kind of soft, and that's really good. I hate the clickety-clack. Some of you may like it, but it's just a personal choice. So if you are looking for that clickety-clack kind of sound, you may not like the soft sound of these, but if you live with other people and you type a lot, they might really appreciate the soft sound of these keys. So I'm going to show you how it works as well. Let's look at the other side here. you can see there's a lot of screws. I haven't really seen something like that. And another great thing is these little things over here. Do you see this? So you can flip that, and there's another one over here on the left hand side. You flip that, okay, and then you turn it, so it's a lot more comfortable. Do you see how this is a little raised, right? So it's a lot more comfortable to type, which is really nice. You hardly see this as a feature, you know, in most other keyboards. Like mine doesn't have it. Mine is just like this. There's nothing over here, right? So it's pretty flat, and people do have an issue with that, but this is great that they've included this. So again, let me just put that back in here. Here is where you find your batteries. So let's take those out. I wonder where the adapter, okay, there it is. So you have the adapter right here. Pretty standard. We're going to plug that in. We're going to see how it works. And here you'd have to put in your batteries. So I'm going to do that right now because I want to show you how it works. Of course, it's going to work fine, but you should always check electronic items that you buy. So let me just put my batteries in. I've got my batteries right here, and I'm going to plug them right in. So it says, well, unfortunately, there's no instructions. Does it take, okay, well, it doesn't take AA batteries. You're going to need bigger batteries for this one. So I'm going to get those batteries and I'm going to show you. It's a bit odd because they don't have batteries. Usually you do have batteries with the pack, but here they haven't. It's nowhere. So anyway, they don't have batteries that they've provided, but I'm going to find one. Here as well, you can see they're going to take these larger ones. So just give me a second and I'll put them in and I'll show you. I'll give you a demonstration of exactly how that works. But we have this thing over here. I'm going to plug that in, and we've got batteries right here. Just a second, I'll get them and I'll show you. So I'm back. I'm going to put the batteries in. And the great thing is this just needs one battery. So I assumed that it would need two. So we're going to plug that in. This goes in right here. There we go. And then we've got the mouse. So this one's right here. How does it go in? Okay, and it lit up. That's great. There we go. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is keep that over here. I've got my laptop, and this is where you put it in. So you've got this port right here. You plug it right in. And let's see how it works. So we've got the keyboard right here. Look at the mouse. Moves perfectly, even though I don't have a mouse pad. I don't have a mouse pad, but it works perfectly fine, which is great. And like I said, you can adjust the mouse pointer speed, like how far you have to drag it before, you know, it moves. So that's great. The clicks work fine. Let's try typing something. Oh, there we go. Looks like let me add that all right there. But it types really well. You can see there's zero problems, of course. And I like the soft feel of these keys. I prefer this much more to the old keyboard I had. Let's do a size comparison so you can see. And the great thing I showed you is when you type, you put your palm here. So that's really great. Very ergonomic, very comfortable. Much better than the old one that I have. Just look at the size. I mean, this one is much, much shorter. Like by a third or maybe like 1/4, right? And this one is just so much more real estate, right? This one's kind of cramped, but this one's like you have a lot of space. So this is great if you have larger fingers, bigger hands. You're going to enjoy this. And the typing, the feel, the keys and everything, you know, it's a lot more enjoyable compared to this one here, the black one, where, you know, it's like clacky and it's kind of hard. But this one here, I think it's better for your fingers as well. There's the logo. And overall, I think, let me just show you in terms of So this was the older one that I used. I mean, it's the same. This is standard. No matter what kind of keyboard you use, you're going to have the same one. Let's measure it and show you what it's like. So this one, the old one, is approximately 13 inches, approximately. And the new one is about, yeah, close to about 17 and a bit more than 17 and a half. So let's just make that 17.7 inches or so. Really comfy, like I said, great in terms of the texture of the keys. And I like that they're bright so you can really see what you're typing. Not that if you're an experienced typer, you don't need to look at the keys, of course. And this is supposed to be great for gamers because, like I said, when you use the mouse, you can just click on this button and you can change the speed at which the cursor moves across the screen. So I don't play games, but I've heard that it's great for gamers. And overall, I mean, look at it. Just look at it. It looks great. It's got a nice color scheme. You don't have a mismatched mouse and keyboard. I mean, what more could you really want? And the great thing is they run these card discounts. So I didn't pay $7.99 for this. I paid $719 for this combination. You get a keyboard and you get a mouse. Right now, if you go to the Flipkart website and you check the price, they've hiked it back up to 3,800 something. Now, for 3,800, I'm not sure if that's the price I would pay for this because, again, it's just like 10 minutes of using this. I am happy, but I'm happy especially because of the price that I paid. Of course, the price raising is just a tactic by Flipkart. I'm sure the prices will come down. So if you do see this, if you do find this and you're lucky enough that it's in stock, I would say go ahead and grab this one because I'm not sure if you will find a combination like this at a price like this anytime soon. If you look for a combination of a keyboard and a mouse right now, you'll probably find them for roughly around, let's say, 1,000 or 1,200 or so, and that's by brands like Zebronics, etc., which of course have an established presence. But Zouk is a French brand. They've got offices in the Middle East, in America, of course in India as well. And I know that they're good because brick and mortar stores sell their products. So, and a brick and mortar store is not going to take a risk and, you know, order something that they feel wouldn't sell well. And the great thing that I showed you here, as I said, you have these things over here. You can prop up your keyboard, so that really adds to the comfort level. One thing that isn't there though is an on-off switch. So for some of you that can be a problem, obviously, because if you don't have an on-off switch, it's gonna keep using the battery, right? And you're gonna that's gonna be an expense for sure, but it's a tiny expense, not a major one. I mean, how much do batteries cost anyway? That's not really a substantial expense, but that is a concern because you don't have an on-off switch. That means that you're gonna have to remove this little thing, this over here. You're going to have to remove this, okay, because there's no on-off switch. So if you don't want your keyboard and mouse to keep consuming, you know, your battery, then you're going to have to take that out. There's no on-off switch on the keyboard. There is no on-off switch on the mouse either, but that I think is pretty standard. I don't expect mice to have on-off switches, but keyboards should. If you compare that with the old keyboard that I have, here's the on-off switch right here. So when I'm done with my work, I just switch it off. I don't have to take out my battery. I don't have to take out the plug, because the problem is if you keep taking this thing out, you're gonna lose it. And once you lose this entire thing becomes useless. You cannot get another copy of this thing, so you really have to be careful. This is precious, because if you lose this, you have no other option than to buy the whole thing again. Okay, so that's why it's a good idea to keep these things plugged into your device at all times. Don't take it out frequently, because it's so tiny that if you do drop it somewhere, I mean, what are the chances you're gonna find it if you end up losing it and you're not aware, right? So that's the one, you know, con I could think of. But other than that, I mean, really, when I think about how much batteries cost, it's not so much, and the fact that it only needs one battery, because these smaller batteries, because my older keyboard uses these AAA batteries, which cost more compared to the normal, you know, 2-way batteries. So, and of course here I need 2 of them, here I just need 1 of them. That's a substantial cost saving. So you really might want to consider this as a good purchase, especially if you can get it for the price that I did, $719. I think that's an unbeatable price for the combination that you're getting, right? Because remember, I paid $1,000 for this thing back in January, and I think they were running a sale back then as well. So look out if you have, you know, all these credit and debit cards. If you can find, you know, maybe a friend or family member that can help you out, it's great. I mean, we've got, you know, the festival sales going on. No better time to pick up a brand new keyboard, and a blue and yellow one at that, for yourself, or maybe even for someone in your life. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you are watching the video, why not just subscribe? The button is right there. It hardly will take you any time, and while you're at it, don't forget to click on the like button. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye.